Hi, I'm Barbara. Thank you for logging on to Homeroom at Home. And tonight we are discussing the Civil War and the various opportunities to bring this historic time period into your home. There are numerous resources available, and what I have here in front of me is only the smallest fraction of things that are out there. There are books and books and books on the topic, as well as games and puzzles, and then websites and websites devoted to this. So with that said, I will showcase a tool here. This is a study guide, and encourage you to continue to check back with the website, because as things become available to me, I will update some additional resources and materials, as well as links to other things for you. But what I have here is a study guide, and it is called The American Civil War, and this is a book studio production. This is a really nice reference. It opens all the way up. The center showcases the U.S. map. And then here at the bottom, I don't know how well you can see that we have a timeline, historical timeline down here that I particularly find helpful for children. And then on each of the flaps, there's a lot of information, including a turn wheel to really showcase some additional trivia and factual information. It'll depict particular battles, the dates of those battles, the number of soldiers and casualties and things of that sort. Then there's also a lot of other information on both sides of each of these sleeves. And as an example of that, we've got a paragraph over here that's talking about women and their role during the Civil War period. This is a very sturdy and comprehensive study guide and tool, and I think that it's a unique way of bringing the Civil War and bringing material to your child. So I encourage you to take a look at this. Another reference that I have here for you is it's a book that is showcasing the famous works of a painter by the name of M. Kunstler, and that's Kunstler, in case I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But this gentleman has some beautiful and vivid paintings depicting, all sorts of the battles and the different scenarios that our soldiers had endured. The only thing that I would caution you on is maybe some of that detail and the graphics there. You may want to just take a quick peek at this just to make sure that everything's on the up and up, depending on the age and maturity of your child. But these paintings are phenomenal. There is so much detail in all of his work. It's just remarkable to look at, to look through this. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and his is probably threefold of that. They're just really, really remarkable. The way that he depicts expressions on the soldiers' faces, the colors, everything that he puts into his work really tells the story of the Civil War very well. In addition to that, you'll find that there's some narrative on each of the pages. So it's not just a picture book about the paintings, but gives you some narrative there as well. This is certainly one of my favorite pieces, and especially when I'm trying to incorporate some art appreciation with a history lesson, then this is definitely one of the resources to do that with. Another item that I have here for you is the American Civil War. And this is the life of the common soldier, dated 1861 to 1865. Again, there's going to be a lot of color photos in here, a lot of narratives, lots and lots of information packed into this, this little book, this little soft cover book. Information on the flags, information on weaponry, all kinds of equipment. There's really a lot of stuff that goes into this book. This is probably again geared for the older audience, but take a look at it. There might be something that you can highlight, and maybe flip to a particular page or two in this book as you're using some of the other tools available to you, whether online or in a video. So, you might want to take a look at this resource. But I think for the most part, it's probably going to be better suited for your, your older children. And this again is the American Civil War, the life of the common soldier. Okay. And lastly, in this video, I want to showcase a National Geographic book. It's called The Making of America. This is, by the title, really going to give a whole lot of information about, all of, all of the early American discoveries and exploration. Everything from the Revolutionary War as well as the Civil War and beyond. What I would simply do in this case, looking at a curriculum centered around the Civil War, would simply go to the table of contents here, and I know that it's going to be in chapter 4, talking about the Civil War and Reconstruction. There's a whole chapter devoted to this, lots of information. Again, at the bottom you have a timeline. In this case, it's a picture timeline, which I really appreciate for the younger kids. A lot of information is found on the next several pages. Just talking about different people. There's a map here, outlining the trails. Lots of good details and facts in this. And again, this is another way that you can take a reference off of your shelf and really get some stretch out of it. Open to the chapter of Civil War as it applies to this lesson, but then later on, if you're learning about any number of the other topics that you'll find between the covers of this book, including the Revolutionary War. So there's a lot of information in this book as well. This is again the National Geographic, The Making of America, the history of the United States from 1492 to the present. Now, do keep in mind that I've had this book on my shelf for quite some time, so it's not going to include the most recent events and the most recent presidents and their terms. But this is historian Robert D. Johnson was the one who had written the book, with a foreword from Lady Laura Bush. So hopefully these resources are really helpful for you, and tune back in as there'll be another video to highlight some of the other things that I have here in front of us. Thank you.